What up, everybody? It's your man, damednydc. Two mics up. We live. We back. It's Wednesday night, and man, I'm excited. It's been a minute. Haven't been on here. Haven't been rocking with y'all. So I know summertime comes. When the summer comes, everybody lose their mind. Everybody want to be back outside. Some of us think COVID is over. Ask the conspiracy theorists. COVID is still here, but whatever the case may be, we back tonight live Wednesday night, and I feel like I'm going to sing a little ditty. Gonna go ahead and bust out a little tune or something tonight. Been me, getting myself together for tonight's guest, who's going to be joining me on the mic, and you know, tonight's guest, she's super talented, singer, songwriter, bad sister. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Grace, what's happening, cuz? How you doing? Long time no see. Glad to see you here with us tonight. Sending my love to the family. Thanks for joining me. But Grace, as I was saying, I'm rocking my vocals. I'm bringing them back. I'm going to Philly tonight. I'm going to Philly to get a cheesesteak. The sister that's going to be rocking with me tonight on the other mic, she's blessed. She's talented. Singer, songwriter. I've been following her. I don't want to say trolling or lurking, but I want to sound creepy now. But as you work, and you try to find out things about your guests, I've had the pleasure to watch her over the last month or so. And so we're going to bring her to the stage right now with me, ladies and gentlemen. Please put your hands together in cyberspace. The amazing, the talented Shana Simone. How you doing this evening, Shana?
Hello, I'm doing amazing. How are you?
Look, I'm blessed. We were talking, blessed to be here. It's hump day. It's hot outside, and it seemed like we both were in agreement that there's just not enough time in the day to get things accomplished. So, I'm excited though to be here with you and have you take some time out of your busy schedule. And we're going to get to that because you've really, like I said, I've been lurking and watching. You've really been ramping up for a very special occasion, which we are going to talk about tonight. Exactly, Grace. You know what I'm saying? That cyber clap, we got to give it to her because she's really doing, some serious things. But before we get into that, I want to just ask, the real simple question. Who is Shana Simone, the person, the woman behind all of the amazing talent?
Well, thanks for asking. Shana Simone is a very hardworking, determined person who has been singing for over 20-something years in the Philadelphia tri-state area and nationwide as far as LA. I did 20 years in the Air Force.
Oh, wow. Thank you for your service.
You're welcome. I did a lot of singing in the Air Force. I would do the Friday night ESPN fights at the Dover Downs Casino in Dover. I did the U.S. Women World Cup Championships, national anthem. I did a lot of national anthems with the military. And so I have a background in gospel. My father's a bishop, and I grew up in church. So my roots are in gospel, which gives me my basis. And as I got into my 20s, I did the wedding band circuit throughout the Philadelphia area and my own gigs in the jazz and R&B genre. So during my school years, I played 7 years of the cello, so I'm musically trained.
Wow.
And took some vocal lessons, yeah. So that has led me to who Shana Simone is now as an artist. I am an inspirational R&B artist who I want to do some of my songs will be gospel, like my single, which we'll, I guess, be talking about. And then majority of my writing is kind of around like a R&B vibe with inspiring lyrics. So you may not hear Jesus or God in my song, but you're going to know that I'm coming to you from a religious or an inspirational view. I'm married with 2 children, 2 daughters that are teenagers. I didn't have kids till my 30s because I was a busy career woman. So here I am now. Everything has come full circle. I got out the military after 20 years. I worked for the government, and then I started my own business. So I'm also an entrepreneur. I've
Wow.
been running my own braiding salon for almost 7 years now.
All right.
So I have other braiders there to help run the business when I'm not there. So I'm a full time salon owner and a full time performing artist at this time.
Look, sis, I'm sitting here listening. I'm tired. I mean I mean because that's a lot of hats to juggle, but
Yes.
that's one of those things, like I say, you've been anointed and given talents to share with us now, and we are thankful one, definitely, for your vocal talents, your songwriting talents, and I know, some sisters there in the Philadelphia tri-state area is happy for you to be putting your hands on their hair as well. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Exactly right. Exactly cool, right? But I want to go a little bit further. Like you said, coming up, but serving in our armed services. Were you was your dad or your family in the military as well, or was that something you took upon yourself? Like, what was your childhood years like coming up?
Good question. So my dad was a Marine.
Okay.
He's a Vietnam veteran.
Wow.
So I think it was in my blood from like my maybe about 16 on. I kind of knew that I wanted to go into the military. And my oldest sister was Air Force. So she
Mm.
educated me and was like, sis, if you're going in, you're going in the Air Force. And she kind of schooled me on that. And that's what I did. And it was the greatest choice of my career. Because of the Air Force, I was able to get 2 college degrees in technology. So I
Ooh.
do web design, and I did teach for a little bit. I taught web design for a little bit, but I got out of that. And so I do a lot of my own stuff now, building up my social media, my website, so I put it into that. And so as a child, I grew up in a family of 12 children.
Wow.
I'm one of 12. I'm right smack dab in the middle. So I got
Wow.
5 or 6 older than me, and I think 5 younger, and I'm right in the middle.
Wow.
So I grew up in a musical household. My dad's an amazing singer, and his family, his sisters. My mom was classically trained on the piano. So we always had a piano in our house. Yeah, like growing up. Matter of fact, I was telling my daughter the other day, I said, I miss having a piano. Like, we need to get a piano in
Yeah,
here. You
get it.
fiddle around with it. Um,
Wow.
so yeah, military wise, my dad and my sister were a big influence on that. But I was the only one that did a whole career out of it.
Wow. I could only imagine what Friday nights or Sunday mornings was like in the house. I mean, this must have been every day though. I could only imagine.
And we have 7 girls.
Whoo, man. Well,
Okay, so the
whoo.
room, the telephone at the time, because we would be practically beating each other over the head with the phone, like, get off the phone.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
my turn. Get out the bathroom. It's my turn. Like, it was crazy.
I can only, well, crazy with love though, as I'm sure, and I could imagine. Um, but
Yes.
there's a couple other questions I'm gonna ask Shana. I'd like to open up just so that we, in the audience, and those who are watching can get to know you just a little bit better, right? Because with all the talents that I've heard, IT 2 degrees, you
Yes.
served in our armed services,
Yes.
you're a musician, singer, songwriter, you're a hairstylist, shop owner, entrepreneur. Goodness gracious, the talent juices just are flowing through you, sis. But I gotta ask,
Yes.
what is the most useless talent that you have? It's got to be something that's just no use to you.
The most you now that's the first time I have ever been asked that question, because I every talent I tap into, I go hard with it. So
Right.
for me to say what's the most useless talent, I can't. So let me think. I can't say any of them are useless because every talent I've discovered about myself,
Hmm.
I put it to use.
Hey, look, that's a fair. Hey, look, I just had to ask because like I said, rolling through your background, I
Uh-huh.
was just hitting star, 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 kudos. Who I just figured, I'm like, there has to be something somewhere, but
Useless. I won't say it's useless, but it can be good and bad. And I don't even know if I want to call it a talent. But
Okay.
I've been told that I can be kind of bossy.
Oh well. All right. You look. I'm make sure my
I,
wife.
my sisters claim that I'm one of the bossiest sisters. I beg to defer, but anyway.
Okay. Hey, look. I'm not gonna step into that pool. Um, I got too many women in my life, so you're assertive.
I'm assertive. But it's crazy because at the same time, I'm not.
Okay.
Like growing up, I was very soft spoken, very timid, very shy, very had low self esteem. Like
Really?
I couldn't speak up when I needed to. Yeah, so I kind of did a 180 kind. I don't want to say 360 because I ended
Mm-hmm.
right where I was, but I did like a 180. I think it was after I joined the Air Force.
Wow.
It kind of brought something out of me because it was my first time that far away from family
Mm-hmm.
on my own. And I realized, and I'm very tiny, I'm very petite and tiny. So
Right.
I think people would look at me and try to take advantage of me. And it was like something snapped at me. And I was like, excuse me. No.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, so yeah, so it kind of turned me into the opposite. So now I'm assertive. I'm like, if I feel something, I'm going to say it. You know what I mean? So
I love that.
yeah,
Because
I realized that it wasn't getting me anywhere and it was making me miserable not being able to speak my mind.
as that's and what do you again, like, now not to go down this psychology but why do you think that was? I mean, being again, I understand, not that I came from, I had four other brothers and sisters, so five, but when you come from that, like, sometimes do you feel, and like you said, because you were kind of snapped in the middle of both,
Mhm.
do you think maybe that played a part? Because sometimes it's difficult to kind of come out, or was that light always there and you just felt that you never had to use it or tap into it until you joined the service?
Hmm. I didn't see it as a kid. I didn't feel I had
Hmm.
it. It's-
Interesting.
I was teased a lot. I was very
Really?
skinny. I'm 4'11", and
Oh,
yeah, and into my 20s, I still wasn't even 100 pounds yet.
wow.
So
Wow.
like I was teased a lot, and then my siblings, I would be around the house singing, and I thinking I'm doing Mariah Carey notes, and they'd be like, "Oh God." So it was like it wasn't until but then again now, like full circle, my family's like my number one fans. They like
Right.
go Johnny, and they really push me now. But as a kid, I think I let words hurt me. Words hurt me a lot as a kid. Like my dad would yell at me and I would go in the corner and just cry. So
Hmm.
my dad had a nickname for me. He would call me Sister Weeper because literally I cried. When I say everything, if the wind blew left and I wanted it to go right, I cried. So like
Oh, wow.
that's
Wow.
I never revealed on any of my interviews. I was a cry baby. And
Really?
I got sick of it because I saw once I got out of high school, people were taking advantage of me.
What?
So I got away with the military and somebody talked to me sideways. It was like something snapped, and I was like, oh no, honey, you're not talking to me like that.
That's
So it was like,
crazy.
it's funny because there was a time when, so I went through boot camp and I went to tech school straight from there. So you get to a stage where you start getting liberty and you can start making phone calls and stuff. So a
Hmm.
funny story, I called home. My sister answered the phone, and she's the one sister that's, I swear to this day, she's 50 something and still just as innocent, never said a cuss word in her life. So
Wow.
she answered the phone, and she said, hey sis, what's up? And we talking, blah, blah, blah. And this girl comes over and tells me to get off the D phone because she needed it. And snapped on her. I snapped. And my sister was like, whoa. She said, where did you park your truck? I cussed that girl out so bad. And I said, Lord, forgive me. And it was just like, my sister was like, what happened to you? I'm like, out here in Texas, I don't know anybody. I don't have nobody to protect me. So yeah, just a funny story. That was kind of when I realized, oh goodness, I'm changing.
Yeah, you're changing. You're changing into yourself. You're growing into yourself. You're growing up, right? And
Yes, yes, yes.
and I heard you mention that part, because that was the next question. You're running around the house and you're hitting in your mind your Mariah Carey notes. So I know at some point in time, or maybe even still to this day, I'm pretty sure you still sing in the shower. And when you're in the shower, and let's say you're prepping for an event or
Mhm.
to step out, what's that go-to song for you in the shower to get your pipes ready and warm to go ahead out there and hit the stage?
Ha. Well, there's an oldie but goodie that I sing by the Clark sisters,
Okay.
and it really opens my vocals. I guess you want me to sing what it is.
Well, go
It's
ahead
called
then.
it's called The Anointing,
Okay.
and it goes, woke up one morning,
Mm.
felt the anointing go over me.
Mm.
He.
Mm.
I cried out, Lord,
Okay.
please don't take your spirit from me. It's like Twinkie Clark just sang that
Mm.
song. And then
Mm.
she does this each day I find myself praying and saying, yes, Lord.
Mm.
Woo! And
Mm.
she, I said, hey,
Hey, you ain't never lied, Cliff. Love them vocals right there. Shit. I mean, that was the warm up. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what we doing in the shower to get ready. Go
yeah.
ahead, sis.
So that's my go-to song. And then she hits this note and she goes from whoa, and she goes like way off the piano. So that's the one. I don't care when, where, how I'm singing it.
Mm. Well,
Yeah.
look, I already got chills, and like I said, love them vocals.
Thank
Um,
you.
but there's a flip side to this too, Sean, and this is it's a real question because everything, we're all talented, like so all your talents.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had to give up singing tomorrow, we know that you have the salon, and right, and I see your eyes, and I really thought about this question because, like I said, we lost Shana for a minute, technology being what technology is.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a second and we'll have her back on screen uh in a moment.
Uh-oh.
Um, oh
Uh,
yeah, there you go, you back. There
yes.
you go, you back.
I can
Can you hear me?
I can. My phone
Okay.
rang the
Uh,
ringer. Yes.
yeah, no problem. Like technology.
Yes.
Uh, but I thought about it. If you had to give up singing tomorrow, like I'm curious to know, outside of the salon, being an entrepreneur and all your time, what would you put all your energy into or focus on doing if you couldn't sing tomorrow, or if you stopped singing tomorrow?
Oh, Jesus. That's a tough question. Oh, because I never imagined my life without my singing.
Mm,
It's so much a part of me that, as a matter of fact, I had to put it on the back burner for years. And
wow.
I was miserable. I don't want to say I was miserable because I had my husband, my kids, my family life was great, my career was great, but it was like an empty hole in me. Like I just wasn't the same without my singing. So I don't even think I would be whole without it. Like,
Mm,
oh gosh.
mm,
If I couldn't sing anymore, I would still continue being an entrepreneur
mm-hmm,
because I like making my own rules and I like being in charge.
mm-hmm.
And I don't like being under the chokehold of anybody. So it's now that I've experienced the differences between working in corporate America versus entrepreneurship.
Right.
I just, even in the beginning of being an entrepreneur, it's a tough start a lot of times. A lot of
Yeah.
businesses don't even make it past the first year or 3 years. So there were many days where I would get those headhunters contacting me and and I worked in IT. So the pay is very good in IT.
Mm-hmm.
These jobs popping up, oh, call us, we want to interview you, blah, blah, it's paying this amount. And I would be so tempted and I would go in there and start filling out the application. And every single time I clicked the X, I couldn't do it.
Wow.
I couldn't. So if I couldn't sing, if I wasn't able to sing anymore, pursue my music, my answer is I would absolutely go harder with being an entrepreneur and obtaining financial freedom.
Mm. I love that, because I mean, I think that's part of being any entrepreneur or business owner. It's that hunger, right? That passion
Yes.
to continue to build and expand on your craft. And I really believe, I'm a true believer, everyone that touches something or is doing something is by divine creation. It's not by choice, by chance.
Yeah.
It's and same thing, here doing this show and kind of pressing through, uh you know if whatever you want to call it, guest after guest or whatever. I enjoy it. I love it. I love meeting people like yourself. But I do want to know for you, Shana, we talked about the singing part, but then there's the songwriter in you, right? And when you write, or like when you're writing, ha- you sang that lovely song, Clark Sisters. Like, is there an inspiration or a writer? Because we're gonna come back to the artists that maybe inspired you, but is there a writer or writer styles that have played a part in you, that where you really sit down and you kind of tune in through that inspiration?
Yeah. When it comes to songwriting, I think there's two producers that come to mind. Actually, maybe three. I love the writing of Babyface.
Okay.
Babyface can write anything from country music to gospel and it's going to touch your heart. His
Wow.
writing it pulls on the heartstrings. It's something
Right.
he does with his writing that pulls emotion out. So him, the singer the artist
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Rodney Jerkins,
Yeah.
he knows how to bring an artist into their own, and I think like he knows how to word his songs to where if you really listen to his writing style, it's very sometimes you may think if you were to write out his lyrics, they almost may not make complete sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of good writers don't write in a full sentence. They don't
Right.
write in full sentences. They write in captions kind of, and they tell
Right.
a story through clips. So like I've studied different writers like that. And then there's a producer that produced and put out Whitney Houston. Uh oh, what's his name? And I met him when I went to LA. It's a white guy. I can't think of his name. But Clive Davis, I mean, he worked closely
Yeah.
with
With
Whitney
Whitney.
Houston. He produced, I don't know exactly which songs he wrote. Oh, David Foster is his name. David
Mm-hmm.
Foster.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Foster has brought out artistry in so many of the biggest artists out here. So
Yeah.
those are the three writers that I really, um, you know, I just sit and listen. Now it's hard for me to hear a song that I know and not sing with it, but I
Mm-hmm.
have to train myself sometimes to not sing because you can't sing and listen and absorb at the same time. So a
Hmm.
lot of times if I love a song, I will literally pull up the lyrics as it's playing and I'll watch the words and how they lay into the beat and
Mm.
where they place at in the rhythm and the
Oh
beat
wow.
melody.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other side of being a creative writer, not just
Wow.
the writing of the song, but how you place the words
I
into
you do.
the melody.
I just
Yeah.
love how
So,
you just broke that down, because there was a word that you absorb, and
mhm,
I felt this, thinking of songs or music that I like to hear.
mhm.
Um, that's really I never visualized it in that way, and I think you're right. So, on the other side of being that creator, that is like, probably, is that the second most important thing for you? Like you said, the layer of the music, but how it's absorbed, and is that how you write? Like how you feel it, how you interpret it? Is
Absolutely.
that?
Yes. And I write different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So I could have, there was a producer that I just loved his music. So I would literally sit in the studio for hours and listen to his tracks. And then I would say, give me that one. And then I would pick out tracks and literally sit there and write to them right on the spot, get in the
Wow.
booth right away and record because his production brought emotion out of me.
Mm.
With and it just pulled the words out of me. I come up with stuff and within 15 minutes, I'm ready to get in the booth and record
Wow.
because we had that kind of chemistry. But then, like here lately, my songs is for some reason they come to me like in the morning when I
Mm.
get up and I'm in the shower and these melodies just come to me. So here lately I've been writing my songs. They come to me lyrically and melodically at the same time.
Wow.
So I just start singing them, and the words come, and then I might write a block, get to a writer's block, but then I could be 3 weeks later and get the second part to that song.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
it's kind of weird. And then so I'll have a full song with no music, but I can take that like
Mm-hmm.
that's what I did with my single "Forgive Me, Lord." I
Mm-hmm.
wrote with the melody and I sent it to Todd Dulaney's people, and they produced around it. So, but I also have a track. I have a song coming out called "Don't Block Your Blessings." I'll actually be performing that at my concert. But I bought that track off of a producer because I heard it and I loved it, and I
Mm.
didn't have lyrics right off the bat, but I knew by listening to it that if I spent enough time with it, I would get some lyrics, and I
Wow.
did. So I bought the track and I wrote to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So talking about that, because you were leading into it. That's what we were. This is what I was building up to.
Yes.
Your actual work, some of your new work. Forgive me, Lord. Talk about you know the inspiration, the power. Let's get into the concert. Let's get into the performance. Like, what is this all leading up to, Shauna? Like, give it to us.
I'm so glad you asked. So on August 4th, I am going to be in concert in Wilmington, and I titled the concert Soul of a Woman, and I'm going to tell you why. So I explained myself to you as an inspirational R&B artist with a background in gospel, R&B, and jazz. And I want that night to be a total personification of who Shana Simone is as an artist. And I bringing together all of those genres. So I am going to have a live 5-piece band
Mm.
with some of my musician friends from Philly, some of my, some, as I call, some of the best musicians from Philly that I've known for years. And it's so exciting to know that I'm tapping back into that. And we're going to, they're going to play some of their original jazz music. And I have some songs that I'm singing that are cover songs, but I may take that song and twist the lyrics and make them inspirational. R&B songs, and I twist the lyrics and make them inspirational, and maybe add some scatting
Okay.
in there,
Okay.
you know. So this is like my first. It's like my debut solo concert because
Okay.
I've done shows with people. Thank you, and I've been waiting to do this pretty much my whole life.
Mm.
So it's a labor of love. I'm just really pushing it and hoping that people capture who I am that night, hoping that people come out to this concert and leave there excited about what's going to come from Shauna Simone next.
Mm. Mm.
Leave there thinking, oh my goodness, this was amazing. This was better than what I expected, and just I feel like I may have priced my tickets a tinge higher than I should have. But I'm letting people know this is an effort for me to raise money to continue my artistry
Mm-hmm.
within a record label. So I do have a very, very supportive family and fan base that believe in me and they want to see me succeed. So they're buying the tickets.
That's
And
what's up.
yeah, I'm excited. It's actually, it could be worse. The ticket sales could be worse. They could be better, but I'm happy. And I think it'll be a great turnout and a good time.
Well, I pray that it will. I actually have an event, uh, but I think we're supposed to be in the Delaware area that weekend. So I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know what I can finagle or work, but I'm sure it's going to be a total success. And I'm just honored to have you here, with us tonight. And if it's anything like the warm up, y'all who missed that warm up, if you catch this later on the playback, make sure you catch the warm up because the sister is real.
thank
This is no joke right here. We bringing it to you. She brought it to you live. She gave y'all a little something.
you.
So go ahead, make sure you go out and support because that's what it's really all about. At the end of the day, if we can introduce a new fan base to you and support you, that's what Two Mics Up is all about. So I thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
What we're
People
going to do,
people can get tickets on my website, shaunasimone.com.
okay, and we'll make sure that, coming out of the break, we'll go ahead and we'll put that in, and we'll definitely revisit that again before we close out the show. But ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a real quick commercial break. I want to thank Two Mics Up and its sponsors, for their incredible and continued support. Season 5, y'all. We started out as a podcast, but we on TV now. So
Awesome.
let's go ahead and give our sponsors some love, and we'll be right back after this short break. All right, everybody. It's your man, Dame DNYDC. We fresh back out the break. The amazing singer-songwriter, Shana Simone, sitting here, rocking with us, chopping it up, giving us some vocal blessings. Give her a round of applause. Look, she, talked before the break about her upcoming concert, August 4th, Wilmington, Delaware. And if you have friends or family in the area, make sure you go ahead and you go out, check her out in Wilmington. We're going to go ahead and put her website information in before we leave and close out the show. But tell your friends and family in the Delaware area. They're not doing nothing. Get a ticket. Go out and enjoy the
Yes.
vocals. Yeah, just come out, enjoy. It's gonna be a whole vibe. It's gonna be a whole situation.
Yes.
But Shauna, we were talking before the break, about the concert. And I definitely wanted to. Yep, that's right, Miss D. That's right. I'm gonna go ahead and let that one sit there for a minute because she deserves all that love.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. But I want to change lanes too for a second. Well, you talked about being an artist, and this is really being your first time. This is your full production, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But going through that grind, you also you open up for a lot of talented artists and things like that. But if there was someone or some people on your Mount Rushmore to be able to open for or work with that maybe you haven't already,
Mm-hmm.
uh who would they be, or whom would they be? Mr. Adisa, thank you for joining us tonight, brother, man. Film writer, producer Lawrence Adisa, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, brother.
Hello. Who would I open for or work with? Oh my gosh, there's so many. Oh, where do I begin? So gospel wise, I have my ears tuned in big time to Jonathan McReynolds. Oh my goodness. I went to see him in concert a few months ago, and his vocals are so just, I say they're like butter. Like he opens his mouth and then they just flow. But I don't know if people know he's categorized literally as a genius. Academically and musically, he's a genius. And so vocally, writing wise, I study his writing style too. You were asking me about writers. He's a good writer. If I could work with him, oh my goodness, that would be amazing. If I could open for him or be in a show with him, or even just to get in the studio with him would be amazing. As a matter of fact, as an inside scoop here, I'm giving you guys one of the songs that night that I'm doing on August 4th is a duet with Jonathan McReynolds and Tori Kelly.
Ooh, okay.
And, the vocalist I have doing it with me is my nephew, and he's amazing. He's college educated in music and beyond vocally talented. So I'm excited about that. But I would definitely want to work with him. Producer wise, singer. You want to know which singers would I work with?
Yeah, if you had the opportunity,
opportunity. So Jonathan McReynolds is one. Let me think. Now, no, I don't want to say her. Oh, Kim Burrell. Kim Burrell.
Okay.
I'm so excited because I don't know if you guys know, this year I performed at the SOAR Awards.
Mm-hmm.
They're like a notch down from Stellar. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to degrade,
Right.
but no, same people that are at Stellar Awards are at SOAR.
Right.
And Kim Burrell, I'm back on the main stage next year at SOAR, and Kim Burrell is going to be there, and I'm so excited because she's another one that vocally she's unmatched. Like
Yes, she's a
you,
beast.
you don't hear singers getting up singing
Mm-mm.
Burrell. You just don't,
Mm-mm.
because she's so talented and skilled, and her jazz elements in her music are unmatched. Like,
Sister's a beast.
yes. So those are the type of vocalists that I study. I really, really study deep the vocalists like her and Jonathan McReynolds that do stuff vocally that is a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I like it when I listen to a song and I want to sing it so bad, but just as equally, I'm thinking,
Okay. Oh, look like we're gonna take a pause for the calls. Looks like Shana might have
I'm
got a phone
sorry.
call. That's it. They get let me get them tickets, girl. I'm
Sorry.
going to get them
Like,
tickets.
go buy your tickets. Yeah, I like to study and listen to vocalists that are doing stuff that is almost impossible to replicate.
Mm-hmm.
Make it my business to learn it and to get every run they have in that song.
Wow.
So
That's incredible.
yeah. So Jonathan McReynolds, Kim Burrell is another one. Now, a lot of people have a lot to say about Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in the beehive.
Nor am I, but
I'm not
continue.
a part of it. But
Right.
as a vocalist, Beyonce does some things vocally that are very, very skilled.
Mm. Okay.
And you people may not know it because they're not listening with the same ear as me.
Right.
If you're listening with a singer's ear, Beyonce is very, very skilled vocally. She has this one song, and you guys probably know it, when she was with Destiny's Child, and it's like, "Ooh, boy, you're looking like you like, but
Mm-hmm.
you come over and check up on it. I'ma see you work up on it. Ladies, let her check up on it. Let me bubble." That whole thing, that whole stretch is in one breath.
Yeah, that's that one is almost
In one breath, literally.
mm-hmm.
She takes one breath and she sings that whole, I think it's like 4 bars.
Right. Yeah, that's almost unheard of.
And
Practically unheard of.
her album now, I haven't listened to the whole thing. She has this one song called Plastic Off the Sofa. And
Mm-hmm.
the runs and riffs and scales that she does in Plastic Off the Sofa are just like, oh my God. I literally listen to it every day because it's training me.
mm. And
Listen
I
to it and trying to replicate what she's doing is helping me as a vocalist.
yeah, that's awesome because you don't. I won't say, but not to say you don't hear, but it's not that I hear every day. Someone really measuring you, and not when I say measuring the art, the craft, and
Mm-hmm.
how you can apply it to your art, to
Mm-hmm.
your craft, to build your creative. I think that's really awesome because we don't really hear that a lot of times. I don't want to say we assume that it happens, but I do the same thing. Podcasting and different things of that nature. I like to sit back and watch other shows and other podcast hosts. Oh man, that was pretty. Because even this is timing. It's rhythm, and it's sometimes it's that flow. Uh,
Right.
and if sometimes you study someone and you see something that, oh man, maybe I could take that. Maybe I can use that. So
Exactly.
it's awesome that you do that, and I'm interested, to see, you continue developing. Right now we got her on the black screen.
Sorry.
Nope, you're all right. Cause yeah, look, I'm hoping, like I said, I hope them texts and them emails are flowing. So when you get off here, you tell everybody, look, y'all need to go online and get these tickets and stop calling me. You
Stop
know.
calling me. You should be listening to my interview right now.
Exactly. And they might be trying to call. Stop calling. Go
Yeah,
online and get your own tickets. Because go out and support.
go
Uh
get your tickets.
But I say that too also because being creative in today's times, right? In the time that we're living in our society, you
Right.
know, I know your music, you write your music and you sing your music with
Mm.
the intention, you have that gospel and you want to have that inspiration. But how much more important is it to you in today's time? Because we're living in a really crazy uh upside down world, if you will.
Yes.
And how important is it to you? And I'm curious also to know how difficult has it been to stay consistent, because it seems like the one thing people don't want to hear sometimes is that positive message. We say we want it, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times we flip right by it, or
Mm-hmm.
we'll turn the page. We're looking for that next crazy stunt or the next viral TikTok challenge or whatever it is.
Right.
So, what has it been like for you, and how important is it for you to stay on your track to be positive and inspirational?
Whew. You know, that's a good question because believe it or not, I get on my social media. I give a lot of motivation, a lot of inspiring messages. I always say uplifting things. But there are a lot of times when I am discouraged. I feel down about things, as far as my relevancy and trying to stay relevant, trying to stay ahead of the game, trying to keep up with all the trends and like you're saying, not missing out on certain things on social media. I know I can't do it all. So I just try to find a balance. But, you know, one of my pet peeves is when I see people say on social media that are doing nonsense, so to speak,
Mm,
and they have 2 million views. And they may even be a singer and end up going, to high places vocally and music and career wise,
right.
when at the end of the day, they're really, to me, not what I consider talented.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the flip side, I know a lot of people that are deeply talented that don't have that niche that that person found. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
work 100 times harder to not even make it to where that person got to.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it can be very discouraging. But what I can say is that every opportunity I get to get in the graces of a great artist, I take complete advantage of it, and I make sure that I ask them to pour into me. I ask them as soon as I meet them, nice to meet you. Congratulations on your success. What advice can you immediately? I say,
Mm,
what advice can you give me as a striving artist? And I would say the most consistent answer I've gotten is to be myself.
mm-hmm.
Don't try to compare myself to anybody.
Right.
Don't try to be like nobody. To be me, because
Right.
somebody's going to love me. Somebody's going to appreciate what
Yeah.
I'm doing. And
Yeah.
somebody's going to gravitate to me. And it's true because you see artists every day that don't have talent and they have fans that just love them.
Yeah.
And they have the craziest sound or
Yeah.
crazy voice and people love them.
True. It's
I
true.
had an artist that told me that, don't try to compare yourself because it can depress you and it can put you into a downward spiral
Yeah.
where you're trying too hard to be relevant and you literally crash and burn.
Right.
So just do you, be you. Don't let nobody change you. Don't let anybody tell you who you should be and how you should be. Do things your way
Mm,
and be consistent with it. So I've learned consistency is key. Being consistent is very difficult because when you have a busy life like I do, you don't want to neglect things because something, if you're paying too much attention to one thing, something's going to
mm-hmm.
saying you're going to sacrifice something else.
Preach
So
on that.
finding that balance, yeah, has been a humbling thing for me. Um, Balancing, like I know this concert is all consuming of me right now. My husband's
Mm-hmm.
like, "What's up?" I'm like,
I'm working, babe. Right,
"What?"
right.
And so I just in those moments where I have to mentally say, "Shauna, take a break, watch a
Right,
movie." You know what I mean?
right.
I just have to train myself to make sure I'm paying attention to other things in my life because music can, you said the word a little earlier in the interview, passion. It's
Yep.
a passion.
Yep.
And I talk about that. When you have a passion for something, you literally could give your all and beyond and lose stuff in your life because you're so driven
Driven. Mm-hmm.
with this passion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost to a fault that you're so hungry for doing what you love to
Love
do.
to
You
do.
can forsake other things, but you got to find that balance.
I'm sure, and I'm sure you and your husband will find that balance very soon, eventually, as
Yeah.
things start to even out. As you get, I won't say closer, but as you come towards it, things will balance back out, and I'm sure things will find to be in his favor again. But you bring up a very good point, because something that many of us don't really, because I tell a lot of people, as an entertainer, a lot of us don't, obviously, many of us don't have the opportunity to entertain on a level or stage that you do. But
Hmm.
I've worked in the trade show industry, event industry, that type of thing, so I know what it's like for the build up. A lot of people sometimes when they come to a trade show, car show, expo,
Hmm.
you see the product, the end result. You don't see the work behind it. So I'm curious for you, like, because this is your baby.
Hmm.
So wearing all of these hats and everything, like, what does a day look like as you're building or preparing, your stage set, your changing set, the music, I mean, yeah, I see you shaking. Like, so what is that like? If you could just take a few minutes and just walk us through, because I've always been fascinated. Like, that's got to be probably 10 times harder than the performance itself.
You're so right.
We'll
You
talk
are
about it.
absolutely
Mhm.
right.
Mhm.
Uh, my husband kept saying, do you got your songs? You got your sets right?" And I keep telling him that's the easy part.
Mm.
Like that, before I even came up with this idea, I can handle the music. I can get my repertoire together, my band, my sets, my music. I got that. But
Right.
this other side of it is,
Hmm.
ooh, I literally came on my live and I said, hats off to all of you out there that do events and do this kind of thing on a regular basis, because it's a labor of love.
Hmm.
It's all consuming, because you have to literally, and I'm spending my own money on this.
Wow.
So it's, I have to make this work,
Hmm.
because if I don't, I am in the red. I can't pay my band. I can't pay the venue. I can't
Ooh.
pay other people that are coming to make this show what it is. So you're on a hard grind constantly. Like I'm in my sleep with one eye. I'm waking up in the morning. I'm rolling over like literally with one eyeball, because I'm literally. Uh, you can send out email blasts, you can come on, you can share your posts and stories and reels and all that. But I am literally one by one contacting people, messaging people, calling people. Like literally, I have about, I think, 600 and something clients in my salon database.
Wow.
And my phone, I don't even know how many in my phone. I'm literally going
One
one
by one.
by one to try to get my sales up, because first of all, people wait to the last minute.
That part.
Oof.
Hmm.
It's nerve-wracking, because people are saying, oh, I'm gonna get tickets, oh, I'm coming, and you don't see the tickets coming, the numbers coming. So it's a little nerve-wracking, but
Hmm.
a lot of people around me that have given me great advice. I have two promoters in Philly that have been giving me such amazing advice, and they were really encouraging to me. The one guy, Lynn Brown is his name. He does a lot of comedy shows. He's been doing events in Philly for years. And when I told him where I was at number wise, he was like, "Wow, like you're actually doing amazing."
Wow.
For
Awesome.
the first time, he was shocked at like how many tickets I've sold.
Okay.
So I found, prayerfully, I will at least break even. I mean,
Ooh.
in a perfect world, I'll
You're
make
gonna
a profit.
you're gonna
But
do fine.
good network and team around me that's really helping me bring this together, and I have nothing else to do but to be thankful for that.
I know that's right. Because I mean, I'm with you. I get it. When you talk about it, we're here working on an event here, in the DMV area. We're putting together a Black Expo.
Okay.
And Kiki White is going to be in town, and
Yes.
she's going to be performing at the event. So we're going to have a lot of things going on. But you did mention, going through your Rolodex and it's just, that part right there. That part be the problem, because it just seems like it doesn't happen as fast as you had hoped or planned. So
Mhm.
you have to keep working through it. But what I am going to say is, like, from your mouth to God's ears, at the end of it, you're going to be throwing up that toast. It's going to
Thank
be cheers, and you're going to go ahead and be doing your thing. So just continue on your grind with that. And
thank
I thank you for sharing that, because like I said, a lot of us do not have have had the experience of doing that and doing things like that on our own, and that should be commended, and you should be congratulated, because that's a huge on taking.
you.
It's a huge step, not only in yourself, but in your development as an artist, and it's crucial. So like I said, ladies and gentlemen, go out and support Shana Simone. Call your family and friends in the Philadelphia, Delaware tri-state area, and tell them come back, watch this video before the 4th, and go get their tickets before the 4th,
Yeah.
and go out and support. Uh,
Yeah.
and we talked too, you know, with your base being in Philly,
Hmm.
um, and just watching things go on in the inner city. Like, are there other things, maybe not just the inner city, but just in the community itself at large? Do you see yourself maybe doing any other things, maybe within the community, maybe universities? Or have you had any other plans, maybe a 3-year plan, 5-year plan, on maybe some other entrepreneurial things that maybe you got in your hat that you just haven't fully developed yet?
Hmm. Well, don't be trying to get in my business.
Hey, look, this is what I do. This is what I do. I'm sorry. This is what I do.
I'm kidding. Well, with me planning this event, it actually made me realize I need to start an LLC
Okay.
for my own entertainment company, because with this being my own thing that I'm doing with this concert, there's a lot of numbers going, a lot of money going in and out,
Mm.
and I really need to be tracking it and making sure it's done legitimately under a business name. So that's actually on my checklist. Um, my tax account is probably like, "Oh God, you got something else." But I need to literally start tracking the numbers. And I'm thinking, planning this concert has really opened up my perspective, because if this concert turns out to be a success, then I'm like, maybe I could do a Christmas concert, or plan
Hmm.
for next year doing this differently, uh, learning from
Yeah.
what I'm doing this time. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And then so my goal as well, I have a videographer coming
Okay.
to film the whole performance, because I need footage.
Right.
I've done a lot of performance, but I need good footage with me and the band, my band,
Hmm.
because this year I tried to get onto a Dundee and to the Wow Welcome America,
Hmm.
but they want like raw video.
Of your work.
Yes, like what are
Mm.
you coming to do? What
Hmm.
songs? What do you sound like? And I realized I did not have good enough footage.
Wow.
I was in contact with them, but I really didn't have what I needed to send them.
Right.
My goal is from this concert to have a lot of good footage. I'm singing a lot of songs, a lot of cover songs, a lot of my original stuff, and it'll give me good material to market myself to the bigger festivals and the bigger events going on in the tri-state area.
Well, look, you on it. You on track. Um, we're coming to the top of the hour. I just realized that, I mean, we've blown through so much, and it seems like we can go on forever. But
Yes.
I really enjoy your energy. I
Thank
really enjoy you. I want to ask though, after the concert, is there anything else that maybe you want to share or talk about with our audience before you go? Because I really, like I said, I really want everyone to go out and support you, not only in the tri-state Delaware Philly area, but just across our great nation, because I think you're a wonderful talent.
thank you so much. I just ask people to continue to stay tuned to me, because I won't stop. I can't stop. I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep pushing. And I just want to, my goal is to expand globally. I'm just building my network. I have a good local network. I'm starting to build my network across the country. And I'm also starting to try to plug in to some global connections. And, I want to start getting out of the US and doing stuff in other countries. And by the end of this year, my goal is to have at least 2 to 3 more singles out.
All
Um,
right.
goal was to have 1 or 2 of them out before my concert. I wasn't able to do that. I'm not done recording. I don't just want to put it out if it's not to
Right.
my liking. So I will be performing those songs at my concert, but I want people to know to stay tuned because I do plan to have at least 2 to 3 songs out by the end of this year.
That's what I'm talking about, y'all. That we talking about just pure sensational. It's all sensational right here with Shana Simone. Hey,
Yes.
look, sis, thank you so much
And
again for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you're going to be ramping up even more. But before we go to, I want to give you an opportunity. Please share your social media,
Mhm.
your website information. Make sure that we put it in the show notes. Before when the show closes, so people can go out and follow you as well.
Okay, awesome. So my main website is shanasimone.com, SHANASIMONE.com. I try to keep that updated as much as possible, but I'm also on Linktree. It's linktr.ee/shanasimone.com. So that has all of my links. You can see all of the magazine, everything I've been in, the magazine articles, my single, my website, my TikTok, my Twitter, my all of my handles and websites with all my information. You can also Google me. You can Google me as either Shana Simone or Shana Simone Wallace, and you can find out as much as you need to out there. You can contact me if you want to book me. You can contact me through social media. You can also, there's a contact tab on my website. So you can fill that form out, send it, and let me know what you're looking for. I do everything from small events, weddings, to big corporate events. I can either give you just me with accompaniment music, or I could go up to a 5 or 6 piece band, whatever you want. So just stay tuned. Check me out. Thank you for your support. Hopefully, I'll see you guys on August 4th. Show starts at 7 p.m. It's at Theater Inn at Nemours, 1007 North Orange Street in Wilmington. It's along the DuPont buildings, free parking. And I'm going to feed you, give you something to drink. And for those of you who choose to, there will be a cash bar. If you want to have a drink, I'm fine with that too. So come one, come all.
I love it,
Yes.
Shauna. You're awesome, sis.
Thank
Con-
you.
Thank you for joining us again. Continued success to you and
Thank
all that you do and all your future endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, please, like I said, please go out and support, spread the word, spread the message, share the energy. And like I said, for those of you who I see jumping in late, you only have to go to the playback at the top. Check out her vocals because Shonda dropped us a little ditty, do something at the top of the show. So you don't have to go back and check it out, so you can get the full vibe because she really blessed us this evening.
you.
But again, she's an amazing talent. Uh, in closing, just a couple of things that I want to share and talk with you all about. Here, two mics up, our community news and connector. This segment is being presented by our partners over at TD3 Insurance Agency at the National Harbor. Two mics up, man. We're gonna be in the community, man. We out here working on some things. Like I said, our title sponsors, Riddick Entertainment, TD3, 94 Media House, Artistry Lather. Go check them all out, man. From just about everything we have here on Two Mics Up. But the Virginia Black Business Expo, I'm board of director, vice chair. We having the Black Business Expo coming up in August. We're gonna have Kiki Wyatt. She's gonna be singing. She's gonna be our lead guest. Silver Fox Squad. We still have tables available. We still have some limited vendor booths available. There's gonna be a food truck court. There's gonna be a kids court. There's gonna be an expo fair. It's gonna be tons and tons of things going on at the expo. Go out and check some of our past guests and future guests that have been here on Two Mics Up as we continue to roll along. We're gonna have some celebrity actors and entertainers that have joined us. Make sure you come on and check out Two Mics Up and elevate yourself. I'm putting together some masterclass opportunities some roundtable talks. We're going to talk about artificial intelligence, how to become a better networker. Coming up in the next 2 weeks, we're definitely going to be sitting down with Dr. Sean M. Nicholson, and we're going to be talking finances with, Money Sense coach Sandra Bates. Make sure you tune in. And, that's been it. And I thank you all. We're back here at the show. I appreciate you all. I'm going to ask you all, just continue to share the love. Thank you, sis. You took the words right out my mouth. Much love. Continue to share love. Be good to each other. Be kind to each other. Salute to you, Cliff. Thank you so much. One of our main sponsors, man. I love you guys. I love the work that you're doing over at TD3 Insurance. Go ahead, keep providing that top quality customer service and quality insurance to our members here in the DMV area. And like we always do, ladies and gentlemen, around this time, you can follow me, your humble host, Dame DNYDC. You can catch me across all social media at Dame DNYDC. Continue to follow and support Two Mics Up across social media, IG, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Two Mics Up. Don't forget Mogul TV, season 5, ladies and gentlemen. We still rolling along. Hey, man, we almost through, 3 more months, man, and season 5 will be done. So make sure you check me out each and every Monday night. Brand new episode coming to you. Stay tuned for the next live. I might be back sooner than expected. It's been a while since I've been sitting here in the chair with y'all on Wednesday night. Stay tuned. I'm going to bring you some more stuff talking about the expo, leading up to the expo. And like we always do at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you all to stay safe, stay blessed. Mike's out.
007.